Hello, welcome to School Zone. I'm Laura Pink and I'm here to talk to you about Antioch Elementary School. This is Antioch's 20th year anniversary, and so we have a kickoff coming up in October, a weather balloon launch. The military is going to help set up a weather station, and we will be having that on the 21st of October. We want to welcome alumni to return, and it's usually like a fall festival and fundraiser for the school at the same time. But this year we're giving back to the community and the students and the parents, and so all the festivities are free and just come and enjoy themselves. But the kickoff back to the weather balloon is an exciting thing because Antioch aviators are always navigating beyond their horizons. And so it will also lead right into a 5th grade weather lesson, because with the military having the weather station set up, the weather balloon will be sending data back through GPS on the type of clouds and different vocabulary for the students to learn and technical parts of weather. And that will be an exciting event for the 5th grade students. The entire school will be present for the weather balloon launch and will be informed of information that the teachers can tell their students about prior to, so that the students understand why we're having the launch and some things regarding weather as well per grade level. We also will be having a science night again this year, and that will be sometime in January, 2 different nights, because our numbers at Antioch have risen to over 900 now of students. And so to make sure that we have a fun evening with parents and students alike, getting to take part in all the experiments, there's usually about 20 booths. We want to make sure that our crowds are, down to a decent number. And then that way, if siblings and grandparents or anyone come along also, that they can take part in the activities as well. And those usually will fall on like a Tuesday night of one week in January, and then the following week on a Tuesday night. I wanted to touch just a little bit also about the fact that this year at Antioch, we also have a science lab. And our science lab is for 3rd through 5th grade. Now, we would love to encompass K through 5, but there had to be a starting point, and we already, fortunately, were blessed enough to have some things in place prior to our school year last year, when we had our Pittsco Science Lab through some grant monies in the district. And so we have some very good educational tubs and activities and kits for teachers to be able to use at kindergarten through 2nd grade. They also have access to Ames lessons, Picture Perfect program, and many educators have heard of those. And if you haven't, please feel free to email me at Antioch Elementary, and I will let you know about those types of teaching materials. And in some of the science tubs that they had for kindergarten through 2nd grade, they had We Do kits, Lego robotics, beginner kits. We Do, because the kids do the program. They also have the option to do the Civil Air Patrol ACE program. And one really proud thing that our school did several years ago was every teacher, kindergarten through 5th grade, were members of Civil Air Patrol. And they also used the ACE program, science and math. It incorporated different subjects like reading and language and writing. But it hit on math and science more. And the activities came from Civil Air Patrol in lessons. Each grade level had their own lesson activity books. Very beautifully done, in color, and they also were good enough to send at least one free set of manipulatives per a lesson for each grade level for a teacher to use. We were once the National ACE Elementary School of the Year. And we're still proud of that, even though the numbers of teachers that are in the ACE program now, with a lot of turnover, with people moving away and new people coming in, and we have a more minimal number of teachers that still participate in the ACE program. But it is a really good source and supplemental, especially even later in the year or during the first weeks of school. It even has character lessons. And our coach even incorporates some of the physical lessons of the ACE program using science and that out at PE time. And so everybody's working together all the time, networking to help each other get the students where they need to be and also make it an interesting year. And we'll talk more about the science lab after this word.
What's up, Ricky Dillon here at the largest social media gathering in the world. So the internet is an amazing place, but sometimes it can be a not so great place with online bullying and trolling and stuff. Have you ever seen online bullying before?
Unfortunately, it's kind of common. Online, people can hide behind the internet.
Those comment sections can be a little
harsh.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
That's a good word for it.
I've been called many homophobic names.
I felt embarrassed. I felt humiliated. It made me stop liking myself.
What if I told you there is something that you can use anytime that you see bullying online that calls attention to it in a nice way? Like, hey, that's not nice.
I wish that was the thing.
It's this! So anytime that you see any kind of hate online, go into your phone, go into the symbol section, post this I, and it says that that's bullying. That's not nice. So would you post this if you saw someone bullying someone?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a lot more mature way to handle the situation.
Find the emoji in your phone, send it to 5 of your friends, and let them know what it means to be a witness.
Go to eyewitnessbullying.org to learn more about the emoji.
Welcome back, and now I would like to go ahead and talk to you some more about the science lab at Antioch Elementary School. We have 3rd through 5th grade that are departmentalized this year, and so once a week, 3rd through 5th grade science classes come to the science lab with their teacher. And we have them in student groupings. They accomplish tasks and lessons and experiments based on the teaching lesson that was given or the mini lesson that I give. Classroom teachers and myself act as a catalyst to induce student thinking and productive talk regarding the science lesson that had been presented. And the teacher that I mentioned comes with their class, and it is very, very helpful to have them in there. They know their students even more than I do since they come to the lab once a week. But they've been able to be very beneficial and help with helping create the groups of the dynamics for the students that they work in together. And they also go around the classroom just as I do while the students are doing their activities and research and information, working together and make sure that the tasks are completed. So I have found that that is a true asset to have my peers in the science lab at the same time. And then the teacher also knows what's been taught, and they can go back and maybe the lesson even carries on to a teachable moment within their classroom from the lab itself. The students collaborate with their peers. They do hands-on experiments, simulations, and that helps solidify the vocabulary and the content for science. Instead of them just listening to somebody else, they're actually doing these things themselves and using that vocabulary. We have to force some of them, but it's for their benefit. But it all comes out in the end to make for a good science lesson and takeaway of knowledge. Students learn real-life dilemmas and problems and have to make solutions that help them make sense with the world. And that's what teaching's all about, is for them to be able to have that to take away. And it's very important, again, that they learn the language of the science and it's used and not just listened to. Also, 3rd through 5th grade, they also have supplemental resources that they're allowed to use also, like AIMS lessons or Picture Perfect programs. The ACE program, if they choose to do so. Pittsco lab kits, when we had the lab, we have these kits that they can check out and use for scientific thinking. And we have a checkout closet for school supplies of science. Very, very fortunate. Also, the military is very involved in the community being that it's a lot of military also, with the education of the students, not just at Antioch, but Okaloosa schools. And they have a program called Engineers for Educators. Pretty soon here in October, they have a training for teachers to be able to go to half a day where engineers from the military actually work right with teachers and doing awesome experiments that the teachers can take right back into the classroom and use. And oftentimes they give materials and supplies. They will volunteer their time to come to you, teach lessons in your classroom and be of help to you, whether it's hot air balloons, whatever you have planned that you think that you could use an engineer for, they will get one hooked up with you and they will come to you in your classroom. So I think that is a great asset to be able to have here with all the military. Also, Civil Air Patrol through the Air Force Association. If a teacher's not a member and would like to become a member, if you cannot get in touch with somebody with the Air Force, please feel free to contact me. Make sure that you put a 1 after my email address, PinkL1, because there are several Pinks in the school district that have the first name starting with an L also. And through that Civil Air Patrol ACE program, if you're a member, you can get some free STEM kits that are unbelievable. I received telescopes, and I'm not talking about the long telescopes. I'm talking about the modern, better quality telescopes, short for beginners that are on a swivel base. Fabulous things, free, with CDs, multiple lenses, other kits as well that have just come to me. Just blessed to be able to have those resources to use with students for science and math and in our schools. The ACE program through Civil Air Patrol also provides top flights for teachers. You get to actually experience going outside, going around the plane, learning all about all the different parts of the plane, things to have to be thinking about. Actually get to go in and fly in the plane, and guess what else you get to do? Fly the plane with the pilot beside you. Yes. And so if it's on your bucket list or you just have a thrill-seeking personality, it is. Let me tell you, teachers are always asking if they can go again, and we try to always incorporate new people for that opportunity. But they will let you go up for about 35, 40 minutes and be flying, and then they'll switch you out with the person that partnered up with you, another teacher that's in the back seat, and then you'll switch and you'll get to go up again, and this time you can go up and make pictures while the other one's flying. And you get your certificate too for the time that you were actually in flight piloting the plane and your whole experience. Fabulous opportunity. And one more thing about that. Young Eagles flights. They offer those for students and children. They'll line up a whole bunch of Cessnas up at the airport and have them ready for students to be able to go out and learn and be excited just as much as you were taking a flight and learning all about the science and aviation and aeronautics. So we have very many opportunities with our science lab and a lot of different resources that we'd be able to tap into, and just very happy that they provided me the job this year to do this for our school on our 20th year anniversary, and that I can give back to our school at Antioch through science.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Welcome back again, and I would like to continue by talking about the SPARK program at Antioch Elementary. SPARK stands for Student Pursuit Around Knowledge. It is our gifted education pull-out program, and this year I am the teacher of the gifted program, and I teach the 2nd and 3rd grade in the morning from 9 o'clock to about 11:40, and then the 4th grade comes in at about 12:10 to about 2:55. It's a multidisciplined enrichment program, and it encompasses math, science, technology, reading, and writing, and we do a lot of in-depth research. We have novel studies and robotics going on a lot right now. And I wanted to mention also, since I mentioned robotics, Beth Hanning came from STEM Science Center, and she is hired for Okaloosa School Districts through the Doolittle Institute just to do Lego robotics and set up competitions and things in our district. She's a very good resource, and she came and spent the whole entire day with my students helping them learn the new EV3 program, since it's upgraded from the NXT. And my students are enjoying being able to not just build the robots per se, but actually sitting down, doing different programming, using sensors for the robots that detect light, color, sound, and much more. So be sure to take advantage of that resource if you are interested in having your students learn about any type of engineering or robotics. And Beth Hanning will come, and if not, she knows some other resources that will be of help to you also. We will be taking a field trip to the STEM Science Center. I went through a training about 4 or 5 years ago in the summer for teachers to learn all about some science activities that were developed. Sorties is what they're called, through Rick Sorio when the STEM Science Center started. And my students will be going and spending the day there and conducting experiments, and then go to the Armament Museum. So that will be a good fun day and good learning experience. Right now, the 2nd and 3rd grade students are studying about Owls in the Family. It's a novel by Farley Mowat set in Saskatchewan, Canada. And it's humorous, it's very, very funny, but very informative of the area, the time, and of course sciences. And the students love it. And real life experience too, which makes it very amusing. They're also doing the robotics, as I said. And the fun part about the robotics was also, before we had started, they each had to learn what it was like to not just be a programmer, but be like the hard drive, the actual robot, and the person who was telling the robot, like the program, telling the robot what to do. And so they did a simulation of that, and it took them quite a few times to get it down to where the task was completed for the robot, which also was very amusing, I have to tell you. And the kids would get so tickled sometimes that they would just be standing there laughing. But it was enlightening and fun for everybody, for an introduction into engineering and robotics. The 4th and 5th grade students, they're also doing robotics and engineering, but like the 2nd and 3rd grade, the 2nd and 3rd grade is doing planets and beyond, in-depth studies where they use technology. The 4th and 5th graders are doing a space probe simulation. So they are pretending like they are a company designing space probes and finding out information and testing data and flights of a space probe that they designed, graphing information, so it involves math and science, and then reading also. And they improve it. And they're doing their actual design, modifying it to scale. So that's also a neat experience for them to learn that as well. But they are reading the story, the novel, Indian in the Cupboard. And so that's going to take us in a lot of different directions also. It's based on a friendship between a boy and a little plastic figure Indian that was placed in the cupboard, and when he opened it up, he was real. And then you have to be thinking about, where was his life before he appeared there? And how is he going to take care of him? And should he tell anybody about him or not? Because what might happen? So there's a lot that goes on. And then there's also fun parts too while they're developing their friendship together. And so it seems like Owls in the Family that second and third grade is also doing is about friendship as well between animals and these boys that are buddies together that take care of these animals. So real life experiences that the children can learn from, fun and interesting, lots of really good alliteration and vocabulary and similes and things like that in the literature. Problem solving that they have to do as we're doing the in-depth readers theater for the novels.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
I would like to talk again about the fact that this is the 20th anniversary of Antioch Elementary School and mention that there are still 12 faithful people devoted to Antioch that have been there originally since the 20 years have started. I'll not list their names, but there will be a picture included. I would like to mention also that Antioch is always navigating beyond its horizons, and we don't do that just by ourselves. It takes many people and organizations, and one such organization is the PTO for Antioch Elementary. The parents and some teachers get together and make plans for our school that are helpful for the students, sometimes individual families, and teachers as well. And it encourages us because they help to be able to make sure that we have some materials and supplies maybe we're looking for, or that some students can actually go on a field trip due to a concern with family at the time, maybe financially. They're just always looking for things to help improve our school personally. And the Oval Arts program is a parent volunteer program. They come in, they teach about an artist once a month. They get students to make great artwork that they also enter in competitions. They help mat them so that they're ready for Fine Arts Night in the springtime, where we display this fabulous show that everybody comes in, more and more people come in every year to see the artwork that the students have done. And their creativity is just amazing, and the ideas, you cannot keep from walking around and oohing and ahhing over everything, as the public does as well, and the students. We also have a tremendous child care program that is run by Laura McMillan for all the years that I've been there, 13. She has energy like you would not believe. She's doing a movement dance program in the morning for the kids to get them invigorated and excited. She plans things in the summer that are just amazing and fun for the kids to keep them engaged. And she's a family to them. We have a great cafeteria staff, Tammy Arn and her staff. They have Tammy and a sister-in-law or a sister came and actually painted a mural inside where you have your lunch line where you get your trays and get your food, your entrees. And it is just spectacular. We wish we had some more of those murals around. It's just exquisite, and that they took their time to do that. Individual teachers even came this year as we painted our inside of our school different colors and helped to finish out hallways that we had a time frame to try to get everything ready for school to start. Our coach and his assistants, they're helpful, they're flexible. The kids love PE, and they help us with other things, like I told you, the ACE program, doing actual physical lessons to go along with it. Custodial staff works hard every year to get the school ready, and ours maintains an excellent-looking school all year round. As old as it is, it looks brand new inside and out, and that has to say a lot about not just administration, but the staff that works hard to get it that way and keep it that way. Our media center, Marge Langley, she runs it. We have a morning show. We have a studio at our school, and each morning we have students that are on the morning show making announcements. The media center is run by her and some assistants and volunteers, and the books are always ready and new things ordered and equipment that's needed. Couldn't have that if we didn't have people in place. We have 2 CBI classes. We had one join us last year and a new one this year, and the teachers that came with those special students are fabulous and easy to work with, and their assistants come into the science lab with the classes, and we have fun and it's enjoyable, and we're proud to have them at Antioch. And then we want to make sure that we list our front office staff, our fabulous 9. Let me tell you, they help cover everything up there, and if you work in a public school, you know what I'm talking about. Not just phone calls, but they're nurses, they're doctors, they're psychiatrists, they're our support. They help the teachers. Sometimes we have to go to them as well. And they're always there and ready to jump in. I go sometimes on the weekend, and I find some of the staff from the front office working on their time as well. And then the community and the military for their support through all the years and currently. Couldn't do it without you, couldn't do it without the parents, and all of the people are what make it for the students. So thank you all very much, and helping Antioch navigate beyond their horizons every year.